Welcome to Speaking with Authority. I'm very excited about today's guest. Every once in a while, you meet somebody who doesn't just teach communication, they embody it. My guest today, Roxy Oikonomou, has that rare ability to see what most people miss. That subtle flicker of fear, that spark of confidence, that micro expression that reveals the words that you could never that reveals those words that could never reveal what's going on internally. She's helped hundreds of speakers, executives, and leaders around the world, including me, find their voice and connect on a far deeper level than performance. I first met Roxy on Zoom when I was preparing for my TEDx talk in Swansea. And from the very beginning, she gave me the kind of honest feedback that every speaker needs, wants, and truly desires. A few well-placed reality checks that really helped me sharpen my message, and the encouragement that took my confidence even higher. Now, when my wife and daughter met her over in Swansea, they just fell in love with her. It was just a wonderful time. They were drawn to her warmth, her energy, and her genuine kindness. And today, we're going to explore how Roxy helps people turn fear into confidence, silence into connection, and why that hidden language of humans must just be the most powerful leadership tool we have today. So, welcome, Roxy.
Jim, thank you so much for your kindly words. Truly appreciate it. I'm so happy and honored to be here on your studio.
Well, I'm happy that you're here. I'm so excited about this. Roxy, you've helped hundreds of speakers, and a lot of people get coaching for their TEDx talk, including me. They've stepped on some of the biggest stages with confidence. For those who don't know your story, how did you first become fascinated with nonverbal communication and micro expressions?
It all started with my love in sales. I was a sales lady, and I found that it was a missing link. It was something that I couldn't understand clearly and purely a human being. I wanted to have access, let's put it like that, and I start making my research, and then I came across micro expressions and body language, but it was micro expressions in the beginning, the pure love. And I started my studies, practitioner, and then I became a trainer, official, and about this. So what was fascinating me after the study, because okay, the study was something new, it was that I understand that I felt that behind it all, it was a hidden emotional intelligence. So it was a hidden power of empathy and tuning in the feelings of the other person and being connected truly, not just communication, but connection. So that was sales. I
I
started from
love
that
it.
point.
I love it. And that's something that a lot of people in sales really need. I want listeners to hear about the emotional intelligence behind what you teach. It's not just reading faces, but feeling what others might be feeling. So what first opened your eyes to that hidden layer of human connection?
What I suggest for the people first time, they don't know let's say they don't have the knowledge up to now, it's just to be intentionally observers. That means to go out from the ego part that I am me myself and to turn to the other person's faces, just small subtle cues, maybe a small shrug here on the shoulders, what I did, maybe a smiling, not smiling face, a downward lips, or maybe some fear. Just maybe even if they don't recognize what they are seeing, they feel that there is some incongruence. So in that, from focusing from themselves to focus to the other person, you observe clearly and can make open questions, open-ended questions. How are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? Can I help you? Just open questions in order to see it and to the other person, to let the other person uncover what they might feel or sub-uncovering, but just to guide them, to guide the other people that they're having in front of them, to reveal something and then to be there with compassion and empathy next to them.
I love that. I love that you can help guide somebody to help them understand if I'm talking to you and I say there's two projects I'm working on and I say this is one project and this is the other project, you can tell based upon my facial expressions which project that I'm more excited about or which person I'm more excited about working with. And I mean, the facial expressions, they don't lie. They're a true, I don't know, peek into somebody's soul.
Exactly. As I say, these small, tiny windows into our souls, meaning that it reveals what is suppressed, it reveals what we want to hide, but I don't want to somebody to have misleading here. Doesn't mean that because we hide, conscious or unconsciously, consciously, it's something bad. Maybe we don't want to make somebody else to feel uncomfortable, or we don't want to put them in a very bad position. Let's say that my son brought me something, a present, now having my birthday the next week, and I don't like the present, but I cannot want to break his feelings, isn't
Yeah.
it? So this is, I will hide it. So that means incongruence, because what he bought me, but or I can be playful. I like
Mhm.
it, and I can do some expression that you will understand that something is happening. But the truth, we don't do on purpose things. We're social beings. We don't want to break some feelings. We are very respectful people. So only this one thing can create this incongruence.
Yeah, I think this is really a hot topic right now. I was reading an article or listening to a podcast, or I don't remember where I got it, but maybe even from you. They were saying that kids today growing up are not having the ability to facial expressions as well as we could, being from an older generation, because mom and dad, where they learn these facial expressions, have their faces in a screen.
Yes.
Have you heard this, or
Yes.
is this, this is something that I think that human connection and putting the screens down and having those interactions, especially with small children, is really important, because if we don't do that, then they're learning. Okay, they're not learning some of these social nuances that are so important.
Oh, you are totally, yes, there is an article, and still there are in universities that they are playing these researches to find out if they can acknowledge facial expressions of emotions, the young generation. They have
Hmm.
started already to making these researches. What I think that is because we are on the screen and all the time, and especially young people. Of course, facial
Hmm.
expressions of emotions, they are innate. You can see there are the research from Dr. David Matsumoto with a blind genetically blind athlete that they do when they are happy, the happiness face, when they are sad because they didn't win, the sad face. So this is innate, it's biological. But the nature, this tendency, if we don't use the expressions, it will slowly diminish and vanish. So if we are social being, and imagine a person that lives on a mountain and a person that is social, the
Hmm.
person that lives alone, or maybe it's not on the mountain, maybe it is in your home, they will slowly lose this human ability. And maybe they say that these people slowly, they die earlier than the other people that they have active friends and
Yeah.
social life. So imagine our future generation, if they don't interact with the face, they don't feel the face and the emotions, slowly, maybe we're starting increasing these mental health issues, maybe starting increasing suicidal issues. Maybe this is now the researches that are being made. So I don't have any statistic to share with you right now, but
Hmm.
logical thinking, it might be this possibility. So we have to regain the exposure in our emotions, and in exposure and feeling our facial expressions, and communicate through face.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Let's change and kind of switch gears a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about the defining moment on stage. So, on defining moments, you mentioned this, you worked with me on this, the time that everything stops on stage. Can you walk through what happened
Yes.
when your mind went blank
Yes,
on
yes,
stage?
exactly. And it wasn't so far away. Around it was on a beautiful afternoon of September 2023. I still remember it right now. I was invited in a private VIP club to talk about body language. I was doing courses and workshops, but you never know when it will hit you, my friend, when you are a speaker. And it was in the beginning, starting point, and I even forgotten my name. It was totally blank. It was like somebody has switched off the light in my brain. So like that, it was totally awful. In my brain, I wanted to survive, and I said, do something, do something. This was in nanoseconds, do something, say something, do something. And then it was like a clarity and enlightenment, and told me start from the beginning. And when now what I'm sharing start from the beginning, it was that one technique, 180 angle technique that I start on using and sharing with my coaches, that reset the energy and pause without breathe out or breathe in, because you don't have mind for these things when it is so survival situation. Just pause, breathe, and tend to connection. When I say tend to connection, I mean tend to the audience and make a question. In that moment, I said, how are you finding me right now? They started laughing. They thought it was part of the session, but it was part of my survival mode to reconnect with the audience and with my talk. This is what happened that afternoon, September of 2020.
I love that. I love that. You know, one of the things that, David J.P. Phillips taught me about is he says, in those moments, your prefrontal cortex is just flooded with cortisol and it locks your brain up. And to go through and reset that and have the connection with the audience, I think that is brilliant advice for anybody, because a lot of times that'll happen. We get to that flight, fright, or freeze because of that cortisol buildup, and everyone goes through that. There's not a single human being that doesn't have situations like that, but I love that defining moment for you. So what did that moment teach you about fear and performance, not just as a speaker, but as a human being?
Yes, what I taught from this, it was I have to turn this, the focus and the light to the audience always, to ask them. Maybe it would be much smarter opening for me to open with a question with the audience. So it gives me time to adjust before my talk. So an advice that I keep, that start with questions, real engagement, and then start sharing your content. So this is one practical, it's advice, but personally, that is again connection and what is for the audience. Not performance, just presence. Let's put it in 2 words, performance and presence. I choose presence.
I love that. Now, you mentioned that you talked about the 180-degree turn technique. Can you explain a little bit about, go a little deeper, explain what that means to help you reconnect with your audience?
Yes, 180-degree means that I am blank, and consciously I take the decision to be vulnerable and to share to the audience. Of course, you pause because you have no other way out. You have to pause, breathe a little bit, just take a little bit of oxygen. I mean, breathe, yes. And then third step is the connection, that make the question, reset the energy, and you can be vulnerable. You know, right now I feel this is overwhelmed, this situation that I passed through or this event that happened to me. And I want your opinion. I can do like that. So I can vulnerable, like expose myself that right now, this is it. And this will make the audience feel empathy and will start encouraging you or sharing their idea. You can ask them, I feel right now I'm blank. You share the brutal, raw truth and have this happen to you. And then we can start engaging in conversation. So they will help almost the people they want to feel you success, to see you success, not failed. I mean, the majority of them. So
yeah, the audience has compassion on you, going through that. I mean, everyone can kind of relate. And I think we forget that sometimes when we're on stage.
Yes. So it's just a reset button. You share that I feel blank, and you ask the audience if they have faced it, but in another style, not like this now I'm sharing. You share the truth, how it is. This happened to me. I'm a speaker, I know, but now at this moment, I feel blank. So I want to ask you if this happened to you. It depends if it is a public speaking training, as the one that I had, it was body language, or if it is another, like a leader, then the leader can do something else, can give to the sales department or to the recruiters or to human resources or to the another department leader or manager, can give and say, please, can you carry on about this? What's your opinion? So you can give to the connection, give to the people voice.
That's good. I mean, because you don't have to be on stage for this to happen. You can have this happen when you're talking to your boss or some of the people that you're leading. Just there's that blank moment. Is there any advice that you can give our audience in this situation who might not be on stage but have felt similar situation? What's a quick memory tool that you could get them to think
Oh,
about?
that moment.
Mm-hmm.
That moment for me, I always make active listening. I'm always asking. This is what I'm
Okay.
doing all the time, active listening for many
Okay.
reasons. Even if I want to ask for a raise, let's put it like that, simple as it is. Active listening, you ask, you say what is the situation, and you actively listen to the other, and then you take the words from the other person, and you are creating rapport. So I paraphrase, I use the words, so I try take the information which state they are. So which stage is my audience, which stage is my boss, which stage is my teenager, which stage, blah, blah, husband, wife. So actively I listen, I do the nodding, exactly what you are doing. No, this is good. This is exceptional. Because that means that there is the connection and the synergy and everything.
Well, it's funny you're mentioning that. So I've got a teleprompter that I put your face on the screen because I've been reviewing me on the podcast, and in case I've got to look down to notes and then I've got to look back up. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you acknowledgement because I
Yes.
find that when I smile
Mm.
and I'm nodding,
Yes.
it's really helps my guests be
Yes,
more
exactly. You help. You
proactive.
help.
I'm trying to build confidence too.
Yes, yes, and this is active listening, pure non-verbal techniques, the
Yeah.
nodding, the smiling. What you are doing, you create this psychological safety for us as your people that you have invited us. So this is excellent what you are doing.
Well, and one trick in an audience that what I'll do is when the speaker's on stage and I'm kind of in the front row, I'll do very heavy gestures like this and nod and smile and do all these things. And the speaker will look at me and he'll focus in or she'll focus in on
Yes,
me. And it's
yes.
almost like they're talking to me directly. But because I'm giving them those verbal confirmations and that helping build them confidence, I'm building a relationship with that speaker on the stage. And if I see them afterwards, the relationship, there's automatically a connection there.
Of course, because you support them, it's obvious. All of us, we need this support from the audience. That's why we say, look for the warmth eyes. This is my advice. Find warmth eyes and look for the warmth eyes on the audience. Always, hopefully, there are some warmth eyes that they will embrace our talk and will encourage us. Otherwise, that's why we say, put your relatives in the front row in order of friends to support you.
That's a good
Mm.
advice. Good advice. All right, let's talk a little bit about going from becoming shy to a confident speaker. I know a lot of people out there feel like they're shy, and how do they go from being shy to a confident speaker? So you spoke openly about once being shy and full of self-doubt. Help the audience understand what shifted um, that you became the confident speaker that you are now. How did that come about?
That came slowly. Now that you are making me this question and that I have this self-reflection, it is 100% when I realized my passion that I want to support people. I want to help and support
Mm.
people. So at the moment that I came to this realization that I want to support and how can I do it, my new way of doing it, because I left sales, it was as a coach in public speaking. Then this let me overcome the fear, let me overcome any knockdowns, any waiting list, being on waiting list, waiting for other people, let's say, to pick me as a keynote and waiting and waiting. And all this, let's say, long times of waiting or expecting or unexpected events didn't hurt me. Tell me, okay, this is the way. You have your purpose. You know what you want to do. You are focused. You keep on going. Keep on going.
Mhm.
So it's the purpose, to find the purpose for me. Technically, if we want to use some techniques, let's put it more practical. During the way, the technique is to practice, to go and try it. Test it, do it, try yourself, do trials, see what is going wrong, what is going good. Take the feedback and a lot of feedback, even if it hurts in your heart, and you say, no, I don't deserve this feedback, you have to ask for a feedback. You have to
Mhm.
video record yourself, to see yourself again and again, long hours. So feedback, to see yourself, try, test yourself. And of course, in order to have this, to do all this effort, you need a purpose. Otherwise, you are not going to be you are not going to go outside the comfort zone. You need a purpose.
Yeah, I think purpose is very, very important in having that purpose. And one of the things that you said is your purpose is to help other people. And I truly believe, a lot of people say that, but you come across that way. It really gives you an unfair advantage in that you sincerely want to help somebody and you have joy when you share in their success. And a lot of people say that, but that is your whole being. That just really comes across with you. And that's why you're so attractive to speakers and as a coach, because they feel that. And I think that's one of your superpowers.
Thank you, Jim. So nice to hear it. Good feedback.
Yes, absolutely. Was there a specific person who you helped see their potential differently? I know you did that with me, but is there one that comes to mind that you helped them see themselves in a way that they didn't see themselves?
Yes. Okay, I will start with the first person that I told you before.
Okay.
Try and test it. So I
Okay.
have to try from the people around me. I started slowly from my environment, isn't it? So my best friend Sophia, she's the
Okay.
first person that I started to do the coaching with her. And it was the realization that because of her past and all the history and a little bit difficult, let's say, childhood years, she became herself to be natural without expecting, without being, let's say, from a point of view, so showing off to show off,
Yeah.
to be a person that I'm humble and I respect everyone. And that was the first part. It was in order to protect herself from feelings and difficulties. She has created, let's say, a shield around her. That, but by doing this, she couldn't express yourself freely. She couldn't be connected with other people. What
Yeah.
I supported, I helped Sophia, my best friend, it is to connect more authentically with other people immediately. And this is, I think, the charisma I have, that I can support people to connect with others, to tell them how they are going to do it authentically.
I like that. It's something, it's so powerful when you see it happen with a friend, somebody you care about, to see that change. It kind of feeds us to go out and help somebody else. So I
Yes.
like that. There's an expression, about bravery. Bravery is not the absence of fear. Bravery is facing your fear head on and overcome it. That fear. Fear never really disappears. It sometimes changes form. But how do you personally deal with those whispers of fear before you might step on stage?
There is something in the heart. Also, before I open the camera with you, always, even if I know you, always there is something in the heart, something like excitement and fear at the same time. This is mixed emotions. You are
Okay.
excitement that the new opportunity, I will see gyms. So nice. I will speak to the people. And on the other time, the fear. Oh my God, if I fail, if Jim feel embarrassed about me, this poses some, let's say, not a syndrome that I'm not enough for the podcast. This is still happening inside me, and this is reality. And I feel that I want to share this with the audience. Doesn't matter how many coaches you have or how many public speaking, no, or the age, because I'm 56. I mean, I have my family, so it's not something that I'm starting right now. But it is the combination when you care about something. When you are so excited, somehow there is some small challenge inside you that make you feel this fear. And this, for me, I turn it in enthusiasm. So before I open the camera, I say, okay, you're having now some stress, put it like that, but you are also excited. So
Mhm.
fuel more passion and energy. So turn
Okay.
fear to energy. So I do
Wow.
it consciously. It is, I know it's fear, but that I know it's also I have the excitement and the happiness. So
Mm,
let's move to happiness door. Open the door of happiness.
I love that. I love that.
It happened. I mean, before I opened the camera, this is exactly I did it. I choose. I choose the door that I will open, which door I will open.
That's a beautiful word picture. What door am I going to open? Am I going to go down this one or am I going to go down that one? And you're in charge. You get to make that decision. And that's part of a really good part of self-leadership is learning how to do some of those things. Let me ask you this. What advice would you give somebody who's talented and has a message, but they just can't get past that voice of I'm not good enough?
Yes. They have, first of all, to make some small steps to see if the message, it's a real message. It's not something that it came like because everybody does it, so I have a message also. Okay, I believe that all people, they have message anyway, but let's say that they have to find their own message. But through this process of self-awareness and self-discovery, it might take maybe the person, it is now, we're talking about 18 years old or 11 or 22. So in the beginning, or maybe 60, doesn't know, that they just right now realize that they have a message to share and they feel uncomfortable. And if they are decisive and they know that they have a message, they have to start sharing with a small group of friends. Start sharing this with maybe their children, that they feel safety. They will start sharing this more to a colleague that they trust, to a friend that they have. Their people that they feel more safe environment. And then maybe they take the lead and they start openly talk in their let's say workplace environment, take the lead to create a small seminar, to share their knowledge to a new co-worker, sharing message and opening, let's say, the mouth and sharing things just to get free of public speaking. And then they choose to share their own message. So let's start with something that they feel safe, something that they know, something that they can transfer a knowledge to somebody else to help co-worker, a colleague, somebody, friend. And then they start transfer the knowledge to the knowledge that they want, the field, maybe if it is a new field, to what they want to start right now. Exactly what I did, from sales to public speaking.
Yeah, that's really good. Start with familiarity, somebody that you can just have a conversation with, whether it's even your dog,
Yes.
because your dog's going to love you no matter what. Start with your children, start with your dog, start with people that you know, and then it seems to, I don't know, there's neural pathways get used to firing in that same manner. And I think that's the reason why practice is so important. If you look in my studio here, I've got pianos and I got the guitars and everything else. And when I teach leadership, I said, you can't learn it at a weekend seminar. It's practice, it's practice, it's practice. And, it'd be better to take 15 minutes a day learning leadership skills and self-awareness skills than it is trying to cram it all in a weekend seminar, this crash course. It just doesn't take. And so I think that you're really onto something when you talk about that. So let's talk now a little bit about crafting meaningful talks, TEDx and beyond. So you've worked with many TEDx speakers around the world. What do you think separates a good talk from a transformative talk?
So a good talk, it is an informative talk, let's put it like that. And the transformative talk is a talk that moves people. So this is the difference. When you move people, when people are connected and engaged and they take your call to action, your takeaways, and they start applying it to their own real life, everyday life, then it is a transformative. So we make a transformation. About building and structure a TEDx talk, or let's say a big presentation, for me, there are some key steps. The first step, for sure, it is the brainstorming. It is the gathering process. I know it's difficult. It's huge. Let's say we're having 10 minutes talk and we gather information from research to live experience, from insights, whatever, quotes, everything in a big bucket here. Might be 30 pages or 40 pages research. Let's put it in something more structured in order people to understand. So first you gather everything. You put in the bucket. This is, I like it, it's interesting. And then you will pick up. The most difficult part is to take out from the bucket and throw it. No, we never throw. We never throw. We always keep the original draft. We keep it because we will use it in another talk. Never throw things. But we have to make it shorter, let's say, to the last version of the talk. research the big. Then I interview the coaches, the speakers. I make a very thoroughly interview them to find life experience, find
Mm,
lived experience concerning their topic. So a huge big interview for their insights, questions, fill in the blank, whatever, a lot of their documentation. And then after this documentation, the third part, they will decide what, let's say, what perspective they want for their talk.
yeah.
Because they're multi-dimensional perspectives. So what is your perspective? Then this will make it easy to decide what we keep and what we say, okay, leave it for another talk aside.
Yeah.
So somehow this is the first part.
I like that. And, going through this experience with you and watching, this is my talk, this is how big it is, and how do I refine it? And then coming back, week after week and refining it and getting homework and then having excitement to say, oh, this is what I got. And then some of them are like, oh, Jim, wonderful. That was brilliant. And other ones are like, what about, and so you really helped me craft a wonderful talk that I don't think I could have done it myself, because you could see where I lit up. You
Yes.
could see where I was pulling on emotions. And one of the pieces of advice that you gave me, which was so powerful, is you said, Jim, when you touch on this moment and you're on stage, you have to be careful that you don't bring too much emotion in there, because it'll affect you. And of course, I'm like, I got this, no problem, everything else. And I can remember that moment and getting on that stage and bringing the audience in and bringing them in and bringing them in. And that oxytocin started to come up in that audience. And all of a sudden, Jim's feeling it. And I'm saying, hold on. But that seed that you planted had me prepared for that. Had you not, that would have been so difficult to do. And I think that was another wonderful benefit of your friendship and your coaching. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you for sharing this. This is pure micro expressions training. This is pure from this. It comes from the
Good.
micro expressions.
Yeah. I want you to think about breaking down the process for helping speakers weave together lived experience, research, and emotional connection into a story that truly serves the audience. Breaking down, you're helping the speaker break down their lived experience, their research, and emotional connection into a story.
Yes.
How do you do that?
I use a lot of recording the speakers while they are sharing the insights.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know most of the times. So then, this is the truth. I'm listening. I'm taking a lot of hours to listen and to concentrate, to find their personality and their characteristics. Of course, I know the topic that they are interesting to share. I'm not going to choose the topic. It's the speaker creating the talk. Me,
Yeah.
it's like I am, let's say, under the surface, and I see the emotions and how this will be more. I will activate best the speaker. Let's put it like that. So
Yeah.
I'm hearing the recordings. I'm hearing things, what we have written, the documentation. And then it is like I isolate myself for many hours, maybe for its speaker, to see that I think that, let's say, X speaker will be very satisfied, because I think this is what he shared me or she shared me over there. So this is a connection. It is like an
Mm-hmm.
iceberg view. I try to
Yeah.
see what is happening. I isolate. I have a lot of hours in isolation to concentrate to the speaker and to what I have. Otherwise, you cannot do it.
Yeah. That's good.
This is what I
Now,
do.
when you think about micro expressions and nonverbal awareness, I think that plays so much into those unforgettable moments on stage. Can you unpack that a little bit about how micro expressions and nonverbal awareness plays into crafting those unforgettable moments?
Micro expressions, because you immediately recognize if you feel triggered or if you have any unspecified emotions. So it comes to your consciousness. So from unconscious level, you have the immediately awareness, real time, what is happening to you, even if you haven't noticed it before, but you can understand it real time during your delivery. So, you go fast, quick. Now it's happening this. I have these facial expressions of fear. That means the audience will subconsciously feel this, even if they don't understand or study. So I cannot avoid people to understand and read me subconscious. So then you can go like the wave. You don't have a particular. I see that it happens to me. I didn't expect it. So I can make a joke. I can be humorous. I can be, oh, I felt fear. I can use this as a weapon instead of keeping me back to fight and go forward. So I am real, raw, and I express what I'm feeling in a very polite manner, respecting the audience, always audience oriented and respectful. But you can use it. I think you cannot hide it. You have to share something like that. So this is one trick, immediate self-awareness, and you share the truth with some joke. You can be playful. Okay, what else?
Yeah, I like playful. Playful's
I
fun.
know, like playful. I like your TEDx talk also. I know
I
you are
love it.
playful.
Love playful.
That's good.
Hey, if somebody's going to give a big TEDx talk or they're going to give a big speech and they're getting ready to go, is there any like one piece of advice you could give them to help them? What's the one thing that they need to drill down on?
Practice.
Practice.
Only
Yes.
practice without many rehearsals. Practice. They have
I-
to know in order to embody your talk, you need
Mhm.
to overcome the stage of memorization. I'm talking now specifically for TEDx, but for any talk, you have to overcome in order to learn the words and then to be free to deliver, to be free to make a pause, to feel free to stop and look at the audience eyes. Otherwise, you cannot.
Yeah.
You have to know the stuff 100%, and then you go for body language and the other things. You cannot be, you have to know the word, you have to know the talk.
Yeah,
So
if I know
practice
the
is number
words,
one.
I know the talk, then I can be very focused on my delivery,
Yes,
my pacing, my speeding up, my taking down, and focus on the audience reaction and connecting to the
yes,
audience. If I don't know my material, then my whole brain goes to, am I saying the right thing? And it
yes.
becomes very robotic. So practice is so important.
Yes, for me, practice, yes. And
It's
then
not just,
exactly what you said, it's practice, and then it is what you said. I see the audience and I dance with them. So I
yeah,
see how and I am engaging and connected. Say exactly what you said. So these two of them, practice, and then during you engage with the audience.
that's good. Now let's talk a little bit about the hidden language of humans. Your work around the hidden language of humans just fascinates me. I want you to go a little deeper into the micro expressions and reveal kind of how somebody feels
Mm.
even when they're trying to hide it.
Yes. What has happened? I was in the theater the other days and I saw the actor and I don't know in English, it is the first row and then you are the ones that we didn't have ticket that were the above row, on
The
top,
balcony,
behind. Yes.
standing room, we call that SRO, standing
Yeah.
room only.
And I saw the blinking fast rate underneath on the stage. And I say, myself, Sophia, you saw he's blinking. There's full stress and anxiety. She told me I didn't see anything. So this is the hidden magic. You can see the blink rate. Blink rate means that the brain is thinking fast because something may be happening behind the scenes of the theater. I know that we were too late. They were too late to start the opening. Maybe
Mhm.
it was this, maybe nothing. I'm not a magician to know what happened, the thinking process, what is the thoughts. But I see there is blink rate. That means something going fast and there is a process in the mind. So they want to keep something, they feel uncomfortable and they are thinking fast. This is an anxiety moment for them. So this is an example that can happen in a theater moment. Another example, it is when also it happened to me that it happens to me the blink rate. So I know that now I'm in a difficult situation. What I do, I stop. I always stop. I reset. I change the room. I say, give me some moment. I go out from the room to the bathroom. Nobody knows. This is my reset button, red button. I go to the bathroom if if I feel uncomfortable. If there is if it is a meeting, something stressful, that I feel that I have the stress and I cannot manage it on spot, on time for some one reason or another. So I change environment. Give me 2 minutes, something, I have a telephone call, blah, blah. I don't have, but okay, I share this. So you do some tricks for survival reasons only. I won't survive. So I do it.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, you've gotta have those tricks in your
And your
repertoire,
sleeves.
your back pocket.
Sleeves.
Yes, up your sleeve. You gotta have some tricks up your sleeve. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, how do leaders, parents, teachers use this awareness to build empathy and emotional safety on the
This is,
facial expressions?
yes. This is, I love this question because I'm also a mother with 2 children, and also my coaches are from university. So I have this feeling what we can do when we have this human awareness, reading facial expressions of emotions, when we raise this awareness is innate, but when we unlock it again, then we empathize and we create this safety. So the person will feel understood, the person, the teenager or the child or the employee, they will feel that they are heard, seen, and and they are understood. So they will express themselves. So let's say in a leadership, we're having a crisis. We all have work
Mhm.
in corporate. The people, they don't speak. That's why we come to crisis. Let's say that the telephone operator, they have somebody that they have a constant continuum complaint about cleaning, blah, blah, that our building is not cleaned. Let's say we're in a hotel industry and they don't share because they are afraid the leader, how the reactions. But if they don't share the complaint because they are afraid, because there is no safety, psychological safety, then it will be a huge crisis because one day they will say, oh my God, oh, this has happened to this business. Yes, because they are afraid to speak out, to say,
Yeah.
yeah, so this is the safety we do it also for our safety. Because if I know what is happening to my son, they feel safe to share with me that it's bullied, that somebody told them and spoke to them badly, or maybe something is happening. They have to feel free to talk with me. So then me as an
Yeah.
adult, I can choose, or as a leader, what to do.
Yeah, that's good. Now, when you're talking about children and they feel sadness, there's subtle clues,
Yes,
the raise of an eyebrow, the
yes,
downturn of a lip. What can you recognize, what can recognizing those signs teach us about connecting and
yes.
compassion on a daily life, in
Yes,
a daily life?
exactly. Thank you so much for this question because by recognizing the signs of sadness or the signs of burnout, if it's out as or the signs of I feel vulnerable, like it is the raising of the chin both here and trembling
Mhm.
like this, that means that if you're sharing a sorrow story, and if I see no, if you see a poker face, is it splendid? You have to see that I am emotionally involved. I feel your vulnerability because you are sharing, because I see that you are having this tremble here or your chin bones
Mhm.
when I'm sharing something bad. It's not easy to do it consciously. You have to feel it. Also, the sad
Yeah.
face, you have to feel it. Then, if you see me that I copy your emotional expression, then you are open because you feel that I sympathize. But if I block and I'm cold, you are not going to open. So you have to see the face. But
Mhm.
here is the trick. You are the adult. You are the leader. So you empathize on purpose. You do the facial expressions because you are a human, but not at the same extent as the other person because you have to carry the other person up from the sadness. You have to
Mm,
bring them up. So you are not going to be down and drawn down to the emotions, even if you feel like you want, because otherwise you cannot help them. You have to be at the same level, a little
mm.
bit higher, and then you see how they go, and you want to match for them to match your emotion. But in the
Oh,
beginning, in order for them to match, you have to match.
oh,
This is the
I love
trick.
that.
Let's put it in a sort methodological somehow way, in a sort sentence.
I love that. That's one thing that I learned a long time ago in negotiation and in sales is rapport
Yes.
means to offer back. And so if somebody is looking at me, if you're looking at me and your head is tilted and your arms on your, then I'll do the same thing.
Yes.
And it's a mirroring and a matching. So I'm mirroring them. And then as they feel very comfortable because they look like they're looking in a mirror. And
Yes.
then I can do things to open up. So if I see somebody who's closed body like this, and I'm matching them. Then when I open up, they start to open up. They'll start matching me. And
Yes.
that's really, really interesting how that happens. But I'm glad you brought that up. That's really
Yes.
good.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this. Do you think we've lost touch with this natural human awareness in a world that's so dominated by screens and distraction?
Yes, yes, we have lost it somehow, all the screens and the distraction and the anxiety and all these things that we have to do and we have to pay. And I mean, it's everything. And we can understand what I'm saying right now and all the responsibilities that we are overwhelmed that we have to do more than we can have and we can put and fit in 24 hours. All this stress, yes, it's natural. We have lost it somehow, but we can regain our power. It is our power. That's why, as you said, and I have heard you to talk about self-awareness, number one tool. Otherwise, we cannot know that we have lost it. So first step, self-awareness. No matter what you're doing, no matter age, whatever, and position, you create the self-awareness, you cultivate, you work, self-reflection, self-awareness all the time. And then you starting feeling that you know that it is innate. So you start watching other people, observing their faces slowly, slowly, their body language. Try to match, but from the perspective, I match on purpose to see how I feel. So I presume that they might feel the same because if I do the same, I'm a human. He's a human. She's a human. So I might feel the same. I mean, just a percentage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also be playful. Try to observe people. Try to do what they are doing to see how they are feeling. If I do like that, how do I feel?
Mm-hmm.
If I do like that, how I feel? Be playful with body language. Do it. And micro
Yeah.
expression, okay, it's a little bit different. Much the
Mm-hmm.
expression.
I like that. What's the guy that talked a little bit about the smile? What was the name of the smile?
The Duchenne smile.
Yeah, the
Duchenne,
Duchenne
Duchenne de
smile.
Bouillon. The Duchenne smile, it's the activation of
Mm-hmm.
the muscle around the eyes, particularly if it is Duchenne, this part, the outer part of our eyebrows should be lower. This is where you see, not from the goose, how do you say it? The goose, how I don't know in English. When you
They're
smile, you
called
make these wrinkles around
the crow's feet.
the crossfit, exactly.
Yeah.
But actually, it's not. It is when the outer part of the eyebrows going down.
Mm-hmm.
This is the small detail. But actually, of course, when it goes down, it creates the crossfit. But actually, it is the eyebrow that make the job.
Now, so should people practice that smile? Because sometimes, you look at people and you're like, that's kind of a cheesy smile, or that's a
Mm.
fake smile, or you can't see it. But when you see somebody truly laughing and they find something funny, I know my mom says this, and there's a couple of people, it's like, I love your laugh. I love your
Yeah.
laugh. I love when I see you're happy. And it's very natural, but sometimes we try and force that smile and it doesn't come across natural.
Yes,
Should
but you
people
see,
practice that?
why not? Even for me, even for social smile, because some people, okay, do the social smile, at least do something like the
Yeah.
social. Yes, because we're social beings and we have to be polite and we are serving people or we are communicating with people in grocery, supermarket, wherever we are going.
Mhm.
And we have to be polite people and not to destroy the day of another human being. So a small
Mhm.
smile, even if it's a social smile, a nice tonality of the voice, it's okay, it's beautiful. Now, then do send, because you have to feel this authentic smile, to be really happy and to feel very safe to do the Duchenne or to have so
Mhm.
much confidence. That's why we love people when they smile loud, because we know that they have confidence. Otherwise, who smiles? Who
Mhm.
smiles in front of the people so loud? But the
Right.
cry is different. You say, if somebody cries, you say, oh, they are very weak. If they smile, you say, oh my God, they still have very high confidence.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Mm.
Is there any facial expression, like one of the ones that I'll use with somebody, I'll walk in and I'll look at them and just to get a reaction, I'll go, I'll do
I like it.
that it's like,
Yes,
so
yes,
happy to see you.
yes.
And then the reaction that they get is like, well, Jim's happy to see me. I'll go,
Yes,
you know,
yes, I like it, Jim. Yes, this is the surprise. Yes, the
mhm.
surprise eyes. We call it the eyebrow flash. A
Mhm.
flash instant eyebrow. You're my tribe.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
met I met you.
Yeah.
So this is
You're in my
the
tribe. That's right.
yes,
That's right.
yes, the quick eyebrow flash. So this
Yeah.
is the recognition. I recognize you because
Mhm.
the eyebrows, when they are raised, there are many different things. It is surprise, it is fear. It might open wide, eyes open and eyebrows again. So it's many things. But the flash, the quick, I recognize with a smile. If it is this combination, it is it is nice to introduce yourself. Hello, Jim. How? It's like a warmth introduction.
Yeah. I have that scowling face with somebody, I'm closing my face,
No, 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 no.
or
Yes, but
raising one eyebrow.
yeah, yeah, like beautiful facial expressions. That means that you're very expressive and sincere person, and I like this.
I
But
have
some
rubber
people,
face. I have a rubber face, so
yes, that's why look young because we use a lot of facial expressions and we
something, and
activate
I
the
good
muscles.
good genes or something
Good
like that.
gym for our muscles, facial muscles.
Mm.
I agree. But let's put only one thing because I don't want to have a misunderstandings. Because when we are having this that looks like anger face, the 11 part, it happens when we feel sometimes stress. And because some people, they say, you look an angry face, you are angry at me. No, maybe they are stressed.
Yeah. Well, there is an expression that we have in the United States. I don't know if you've heard it. It's called RF.
Yes, I know.
Oh,
Oh
you
my
you know
God.
RBF.
Yes, I know RBF. I'm not going. Don't tell me in public to say what does it means. Let them Google it.
Yeah, you can go Google it, but
Oh,
there are people that it's like, you've got to
yes, RBF.
snap out of that. Yeah, you got to
I
snap
know
out of that.
RBF. But it happens because maybe they feel uncomfortable. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not their fault. I mean, it happens. But
Yeah.
they are their responsibility to acknowledge that they might close some doors with this. So they have to be more to massage their face, to have more relaxed face. They can do
Yep.
things.
Yep.
They can do things.
And you can practice. You can practice having a smile, having a Duquesne or Duquesne smile.
Yeah.
If you had to summarize your philosophy in
Oh,
one sentence, what is communication really about? How would you do that?
I create psychological safety to the people that they are around me with my communication
That is really good. Why is psychological safety so important?
because I want people around me to have this. To feel proud of themselves, to feel happy how they exactly they are without
Mhm.
trying to hide or feel uncomfortable. I want them to be themselves, to express themselves fully. That's why I have it as an obligation somehow inside my heart that they have to feel safe around me.
Yeah, I think if people don't feel safe, if they don't have that psychological safety, there's a wall that goes up, and it's a wall of self-preservation, and it's a wall that is protecting them. But when they feel psychologically safe, the wall comes down,
Mm.
and that's where you have true communication and true interaction. And
Yes.
I think that's missing and that's special. So, what's next for you? Are any projects or workshops or books or speeches that you're working on?
Yes, all of them. Let's put it like that somehow. But okay, the one that is coming, it's about on the 26th of November. I will speak in a non-profit company about sadness, how to recognize children that they are
Hmm.
sad, and how to protect these children. Somehow, protection and the recognition.
Hmm.
People from corporate world here in Greece, in
Yep.
Athens. I will share this. Then it is my human resources workshops, facial recognition, of course,
Hmm.
sorry, and how to navigate the dynamics inside big companies, multicultural companies, especially. That's
Hmm.
it. And my lovely TEDx speakers.
Yes, yes. You've got so many TEDx speakers, and if you need a TEDx speaker coach, I can't recommend Roxy high enough to you. I mean, she'll get you there, and the joy that you have of walking off stage and saying, "Yes, I nailed it," is It's a
Yes.
mountaintop experience. I'll never climb Mount Everest, and I don't know what that means. Boy, getting off stage when you just really feel prepared, you felt the audience loved it, round of applause, and having people come up day afterwards is one of the best feelings in the world. Roxy helps more people get that feeling than anybody I know.
Thank you, Jim, so much for your lovely words. Thank you.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome. Now, I'm going to put in the description below contact information for how you can get a hold of Roxy. And I just want to tell everyone, thanks for listening today. I'm so excited we had Roxy on, and up your speaking game, up your self-awareness game, up your leadership game, and the world is your oyster. Go for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim.